Hello and greetings from Brunei Darussalam. This is a presentation from Ms. Noorul Sulaiman from Sekolah Tinggi Perempuan Raja Isteri at the Ministry of Education and Dr. Masitah Shahrill from Sultan Hassanah Bolkiah Institute of Education at the University of Brunei Darussalam. This study examined the impact of collaboration in the learning of secondary school statistics in 3 government secondary schools in Brunei Darussalam. We explored whether collaborative learning was an effective method in learning statistics and also investigated students' attitudes towards collaborative learning. The curriculum for Brunei Darussalam had undergone several changes, with the implementation of the new education system, Sistem Pendidikan Negara Abad ke-21, SPN 21, or the 21st Century National Education System in 2009. It is hoped that the national education in Brunei Darussalam be raised to a higher level of excellence and thus produce highly educated, skilled, and successful future generations of Bruneians. Traditional teaching approaches employing tasks emphasizing rote memorization or application of simple procedures will not help students to become critical thinkers or be actively involved in the learning process. Students need to take part in the learning process that requires them to be continuously engaged. As stated in the SPN 21 Secondary Mathematics Curriculum Framework and Guidelines, the SPN 21 curriculum encourages teachers to prepare learning activities that allow students to work actively as individuals or in groups, and teachers to take the role as facilitators in these learning processes. The 21st Century Learning Design 21 CLD has been designed to enhance the teaching and learning experience in line with each country's national goal, which is to equip students with the 21st century skills. The 21 CLD has provided teachers with rubrics on 6 dimensions, and collaboration is one of them. The research questions investigated in this study are as follows. Firstly, how effective was collaborative learning towards students' achievement in mathematics regardless of their level of ability? The second research question is, what number code according to the 4-point rubric did students demonstrate after the implementation of collaboration to their learning process, based from the use of 21 CLD student work rubric on collaboration as reference? And finally, what were students' attitudes towards collaborative learning? Gokale in 1995 referred collaborative learning as an instruction method in which students at various performance levels work together in small groups towards a common goal. This means that each member of the group are responsible for one another's learning, and thus the success of one student helps other students to be successful. A research done by Webb in 1993 had proven that 7th grade students working collaboratively in small groups of 3 and 4 on computational math problems earned significantly higher scores working in groups than equivalent ability students working individually. Additionally, students who receive further assistance and try to understand it during collaboration earn much higher scores than students who passively receive assistance. Collaboration also promotes in the discussion of tasks given and expectations of students' learning outcomes that leads to improved teaching and learning process. As Van Boxtel, van der Linden, and Kanseler in 2000 describe, collaborative learning activities such as allowing students to provide explanations of their understanding can help students elaborate and reorganize their knowledge. Furthermore, collaborative approaches may also be related to motivation. Students usually tend to enjoy the whole learning process when they were placed in group settings. Working with others in groups promotes students to be academically engaged through the added responsibility of group performance. This study used a classroom research approach with both mixed qualitative and quantitative modes of data collection and analysis. The sample was taken from 3 government secondary schools in Brunei Darussalam, and it involved 79 Year 7 students of mixed ability with ages ranging from 11 to 12 years old. The data for this study were collected through pre-test and post-test, students' questionnaire, and students' work, which consisted of group project and group presentation. Figure 1 displays the framework of this study. For the first research question, we investigated the effectiveness of collaborative learning towards students' achievement in mathematics regardless on their level of ability. Table 1 depicts the comparison of the results for both tests. A total of 71 students participated in both tests, and the total mark for each test was 50. From Table 1, it can be seen that the range mark for the pre-test was 34, since the highest mark attained was 46, while the lowest mark was 12. Similarly, for the post-test, the range mark was 28, since the highest mark was 50 and the lowest mark was 22. The mean mark for the pre-test was 31, while the mean mark for the post-test was 42.80, showing that there were significant improvements on students' performance in the post-test as compared to the pre-test. After conducting 4 lessons with the whole class as well as collaborative learning activities, most of the students shown good improvements very well in the post-test results. For the second research question, the results were obtained from the rubric ratings of 1 to 4 based from the 4 points 21 CLD student work rubrics that were used. This rubric rating gave the codes for each student based on their participation in working collaboratively through their respective group projects and presentations. Table 2 shows the frequency and the frequency percentage for each number coded from the 4-point rubrics given to the 71 students. From Table 2, it can be seen that there was no record for Code 1, indicating that every student knew that they had to work together in a group. Whereas for Code 2, 33.8% of the students demonstrated that they did work collaboratively in their group but somehow did not share the responsibility in completing the given task. Code 3 had the highest frequency with a record of 47.9%. This indicated that students demonstrated that they did work collaboratively in their group and shared their responsibility towards their given task, namely their project and presentation. Whereas for Code 4, only 18.3% of the students demonstrated that they actually work collaboratively within their group by having shared responsibility and making substantive decisions regarding the content, process, or product of their given task. From the results obtained, it can be seen that even though the students demonstrated that they worked together in a group, they needed to be more exposed on working collaboratively, and at the same time, students need to be reminded of their roles when working collaboratively with their group. This is to ensure that they all really understood their role when working together towards the success of their group. Referring to the students' responses from the questionnaire, a total of 93% of the students, 51% strongly agree and 42% agree, indicated that they gain more knowledge by working with their peers. A total of 96% of the students indicated that they enjoy collaborative learning. Furthermore, it can be seen from the bar graph that students agreed or strongly agreed that collaborative learning has helped them to be responsible for the success of their group mates, to participate more in class, and improve relationship with their peers, all in which contributes towards the success of the group. From the bar graph, it can be seen that students agreed or strongly agreed that collaborative learning has helped them to be more committed and be more responsible in their learning. A total of 96% of students mentioned that they do their fair share of work during group project. However, it was almost a 50-50 split of agree and disagree on the statement, "I do more work than some members of my group." From the questionnaire given, it can be concluded that students enjoyed and preferred collaborative learning in comparison to individual work. However, majority still agreed that they learn more from direct teacher instruction, with 65% agree and 24% strongly agree that they learn more from direct instruction. This indicated that students were so used to the traditional method of teaching that they believe that they will gain more knowledge through this method. In conclusion to our study, the results from the pre and post tests had shown that collaborative learning on the topic statistics had positive impact on students' achievement regardless of students' ability. The highest frequency, being 47.9% of the students, acquired Code 3 on the collaboration skill rubrics ratings, which indicated that our students were considered to be performing well working in a group. We found from the students' responses in the questionnaire that students demonstrated a positive attitude towards collaborative learning. From the analysis of this study, it is suggested that mathematics teachers should try to give more exposure to their students on collaborative learning through group assignments, projects, and presentation. Based on the findings and conclusions of this study, we present here a few suggested recommendations that may be useful for mathematics teachers who wish to practice collaboration in their mathematics lesson as well as for future further research. Firstly is to give students proper guidance in using collaborative learning. If students understood the criteria on the 21 CLD student work rubrics, students may benefit more from collaborative learning. Secondly, having the patience and commitment in implementing collaborative learning from both parties, teachers and students. As with any kind of teaching, to design a group activity task and to guide students to do group work definitely takes time in order for them to learn and practice. Thirdly, only selected schools and teachers were involved with the recently introduced 21 CLD in Brunei Darussalam in 2012. To improve further research study, having someone skilled in using the 21 CLD rubrics to assist the mathematics teachers will be very helpful. In addition, the other 5 dimensions of the 21 CLD could also be included. The findings from this study could be used by the Curriculum Development Department of the Ministry of Education in Brunei Darussalam to improve the secondary mathematics curriculum. Mathematics lesson can be designed by preparing teaching and learning activities that involve collaborations through group work to selected mathematics topic in the syllabus. These are just some of the references used for this presentation only. Thank you for listening, and if you have any questions or comments in relation to this study, please email them to us.